Greetings, people of the internet. I am LUCHA MAN, and welcome to LUCHA MAN Reviews. Today on LUCHA MAN Reviews, in my previous video, I talked about the upcoming Cartoon Network show Over the Garden Wall. Now, when I first was talking about it, I thought that each chapter would be a half hour. So I thought we were going to get two back-to-back half-hour segments, but I was wrong. Each chapter was about, the usual 11 minutes, so there was two chapters for each episode, which was why it was a 5-night thing. So I apologize for that. Now, this was definitely a one-shot series, and I liked it because since it was such a short amount of episodes, only 5 of them total. It's a weird contrast. When a show only has a very finite, limited amount of time, you can see all the work and detail put into everything about it because they do have a time frame, but since they don't have to do 30 episodes for one season, it's really great how even though it's condensed down, it has great quality of art and sound and story. It was a really good show. So, what is Over the Garden Wall? It was described as a 5-night mystery adventure series, and it was. And it came to us from someone who worked on both Adventure Time and one of Cartoon Network's other original series, The Misadventures of Flapjack. And I was like, okay, how is this going to work? Because, they had two different styles, and they had maybe some similarities with story and plot, but it was interesting to see how these two different show types would merge together to form this series. So, Over the Garden Wall, it has 3 protagonists. 2 human and 1 not human. How does that work out? Well, allow me to explain. Alright, of the 2 human protagonists, you have Wirt and Greg. They are siblings, and Wirt is the older siblings. He has this, has this blue jacket, cape, like outfit, and he wears this red pointy hat, so I was like getting a whole David the Gnome vibe off of him. Now, he's the older brother, and he's trying to figure out himself and the world around him. But he understands some aspects of the world around him, but he's trying to figure out the rest of it. He's playing it by ear. He's at that weird stage of life where he's trying to figure out what's going on. So he takes things seriously, or maybe too seriously, and sometimes he borderlines on drama queen. Contrastingly, there's his brother Greg, who's very young, and for some reason is wearing a teapot on his head. Greg is at that stage in life where he is young, he's carefree. He does not consider the consequences of his actions before doing them. He just does whatever he wants. And like I said, he's a little bit of naivete. He kind of just does whatever he wants and is not... While it's refreshing for childhood innocence, and sometimes it's a good thing, it can also lead to trouble. It's kind of like the SpongeBob effect, I guess. So both brothers have polar opposite traits, which kind of works out. It's good because you don't just have the same bland character all the time. But I think it would be better like if maybe Greg did understand the gravity of a situation every once in a while, and actually... Or maybe if Wirt... He does have fun every now and again, but maybe relaxed a little bit and wasn't such a drama queen. The last main protagonist is Beatrice, and she is a talking bluebird. And no, I do not mean blue like a Mordecai from Regular Show. No, I mean it's an actual bird about the same size, just talking in a human voice. Now, the main story is that Greg and Wirt are inexplicably lost in the woods, and Beatrice offers to help them at one point to find a way to get home. And these woods are known as the Unknown, and in the Unknown there's the forest, but there's also other things. There's like towns, there's cottages, there's fairs, there's rivers, and then there's one of the main antagonists is the Beast. There's some mythological creature that's running rampant through the woods, terrorizing people. So it's kind of interesting how the Beast is kind of the antagonist in a few episodes, but not for the entire time. Now then, oh boy, how do I describe this series? The artwork is very well done. I mean, you can see it's a really good blend of Adventure Time and Flapjack. Some characters, so there's some simplicity to some of the characters, but some of the level of detail for other characters or the landscape, it is just really good. And looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, this looks like something from The Brothers Grimm, Alice in Wonderland, or The Wizard of Oz. Stylistically wise, and based on the way the story is told, as there may be metaphors, or similes, or... There's so many things in the Over the Garden Wall that where like the person will encounter a conflict or some side activity, and it could possibly relate to something from the real world. But the way this story is set up, I was watching this and I was like thinking, this is something like you'd see around the turn of the century, like one of the stories I previously mentioned. Or for anyone else, maybe like the Amulet series and the Bone series mixed together. Amulet and Bone being two graphic novel comic book series. Check them out; they're pretty good. But yeah, I'd say it was so the story was really good, and it's really great. You started the series wondering what was going on. You encountered the unknown, and by chapter 9, it brought everything back together to help you figure out how the situation started. And chapter 10, it wrapped things up very nicely. I thought it was a very well told story. It was visually great. The music was good, but well, there was one episode where they overdid it a little bit with the cast singing, like, okay, this has become a musical. What is going on here? They hammed it up a little bit for that episode. Yes, now, the way the story ends, I am pretty sure that this was just a one-shot ordeal. And I hope they keep it that way, out of respect. I mean, this does not need a sequel, and I don't think it needs a prequel. I mean, sure, it would be nice to hear some other stories about some of the other characters from the episode, but I don't know, maybe they could write a book about it or something. I could legitimately see the way this was illustrated. I could see it as like the picture in a children's book. Like, you have the picture and then it says, and so the brothers wandered through the woods and blah blah blah. It was a very, very good series. Only a few nitpicks I had, but the majority of all the good stuff outweighs the bad. One of the things I liked was how there was some stuff that was blatant right there in your face, and then there were like a few little hidden things, and there was some subtlety, both story-wise, audio, and visual. It was a really good series. And when I said you should check it out, I was like, I'm taking a leap of faith here. This looks good, and I want to try it, and I hope people will watch it. And I hope you did. If you didn't, well, there's always on demand and the internet, and who knows, it'll probably pop up on DVD some point. So for Over the Garden Wall, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Yeah, so it was a really great series. I highly recommend it. It was not bad. It'll keep you entertained for the 2.5 hours. Very good. So, yeah, that was Over the Garden Wall. Until next time, this has been LUCHA MAN for LUCHA MAN Review, saying thank you for watching, and have a nice day.